Welcome back, everybody. What I wanted to do for you today is introduce my program to advance a spin. So this is Loki. He's at 40 rides at this point. So 2 months worth of training and he's at the stage that he is. What I like to do is I'll show you where I start with the spin and where I'd go to after they're ready, and where he's proven me right now that he's ready to move on to the next level. He's done it after 2 months and he's actually a little bit ahead of schedule. Normally when they get to this point it takes between 4 to 5 months. But the thing is in my program I like to continually challenge my horses so they continually feel like they're getting their mental stimulation, physical stimulation. If it's really easy for them, it's just like a kid in school that, you know, math may be really easy for, well, they go up a grade, you know, and if they have a little bit more struggle in that school, then they may get held back or may go to a special needs class. It's the same way with horses, you know, it doesn't matter if they're going fast or slow, you just continually make it a little bit challenging for them so they have more enjoyment and more success out of feeling their progression through the series. So anyway, I want to show you where we started, where we are now, and what we need to do to get him a little bit better with the spin. So first of all, I still like to do a lot of walking in and out of the spin. So when I'm going and getting ready to make my spin, I'm going to bend him around my inside leg, I'll spin him, and then I'll walk him out around my inside leg as well. So the reason that I do that is because I don't want him to think spin and then we're just going to stop, because he'll start to anticipate the stop and he'll start slowing down on me, preparing to get that release point. I don't want him to think that. I want him to think that he needs to go fast and strong. When I say fast, I want him to be doing it at about a medium speed right now, no more than that. But I want him to be doing it energetic. Okay, when he feels energetic about that, I want to be able to push him out of that and continually keeping those front feet moving. That way he'll have a better cadence than if he's thinking he's going to stop, he's just going to start planting his front feet. So I do lots of walking in and out. At his stage right now, all I'm asking for him to do is bend around my inside leg. When I change, I take my inside leg off. So at this point, it's on, it's pushing his rib cage to the outside. I'll take that inside leg off like this, and I will press with this neck rein. When I press with this neck rein, I'll leave that there, and if he's looking to the right, I'll leave him alone with my right rein, but if he's not looking to the right, I'll just pull and release with that right rein continually, so he's always looking in the direction of travel. So my cue to start that spin is inside leg goes off, neck rein comes on, and then my right rein will be kind of on and off as needed. So where I want him to be doing right now is as soon as I press him with that neck rein, he stays in that spin all by himself. I don't have to use my outside leg. Now I will use my outside leg if I feel that he's getting lazy on me. So I'll press with this neck rein. Okay, he's getting lazy there, so that's where that outside leg will come in. So I want him to continue in this spin. See how he stopped there? I won't pull him harder. I'll just use my outside leg and then I'll drive him out, and I'll get a little further away from the camera so you can see a little bit better. I'll push him out with my inside leg. So inside leg is on, press with that neck rein. And this is what I would consider about a slow to medium speed. He's maintaining it by himself, my legs are off, and he's just staying in that. Now I'll push him back out of that. He needs to be doing at least that good before I even consider going on to a more advanced stage. Inside leg off, outside leg on. So he looked to the outside, I just bumped that rein back, and then see how my hands are kind of forward? I'll bump that rein in if he doesn't look to the inside. But besides that, I'm just leaving him alone, then I'll bend him back out. That's pretty good for what he's doing right now. All I'm asking him to do at this stage is to follow my hands. If that neck rein's on, he needs to go follow it, and he needs to look in the direction that he's going. I haven't spent a lot of time saying, well, you have to do it super correct, being on a certain pivot foot or being collected. That would just be too much information at the early stages. I want him to really be aware that when my hands come over here, he just needs to follow it, have a good cadence with the front feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. He's doing that really nice. Let's do a couple the other way, just to test if he's as good on that side. Bend him around my left leg. See, my right rein isn't on yet. It's kind of out here. And then I'll touch that neck with that right rein. Ask him to step through. He's looking to the outside a little bit, bump him in. He's maintaining it all by himself. Let's go ahead and bend him back out. Inside leg, inside rein to bend him out. I'm not using this outside rein during this bend right now. I'm just letting him bend around my leg, and I'm not worried about him tucking his chin. Inside leg off, outside rein on. Got a little sucked back there, so I'm going to keep on going until he gets a little better cadence. There we go. Okay. So that's where I'd like to have any horse before moving on to the next level. Like I said, he got there in 2 months worth of training. That's pretty quick, really. But again, I want to make sure that he's proven to me that he can do it. So I want to say, well, let's see if you can do a little bit more and just continually push that a little bit. So the reason why I need to change this, you might see this and say, well, that's a pretty good spin. Why do you even need to do anything? Just keep practicing and get it a little faster and a little better. Well, the thing is, if all I did was at this point on work for a little more speed, I'd really run into some problems down the road. The reason being is because he's not really soft up front, he's not rounding his back, and he's actually, this horse in particular, he's a really big stopping horse. He likes to really sit on his hind end a lot. Well, he's sucked way back on these spins. He's kind of sucked back but pointed out with his nose like this. So he's back as far as he can, pointed out like this. He's able to do his front feet because he's got quite a bit of talent. But if I ask for any more speed, he'd really start to hit his feet together and have a hard time giving it a really pretty spin. The reason being is because he's too far sucked back, and I can tell just by the feel, and you should be able to tell because he's actually pivoting for the most part on his outside hind leg. When a horse pivots on their outside hind leg, it usually means they're too far back. When they're pivoting on their inside back leg, it usually means they're too far forward. What I prefer is they'll kind of plant a foot for a couple strides, then plant another foot for a couple strides and kind of swap them back and forth. The old saying is to get them on that inside back foot. I personally think that's a little outdated, and you very rarely see a really great reining horse spinning on planting on one foot. I think that swapping method really gives the prettiest and the quickest spin. So I'm never going to be, if I just leave it how this is though, I'm never going to be able to get that prettier type of spin. So what I need to do to be able to improve this is I need to have him tucking his chin a little bit more. So while he's in this spin, I need it a little softer up front and a little higher with his withers. When he's stretching out with his nose like this, his withers kind of sink down to the ground. And that's not going to really be able to give that lift that I'm going to need for a really quick 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So the way that I'll start to work on this is rather than bending him around my inside leg and just using my inside rein, I'm actually going to use both reins right here and tell him to tuck his chin a little bit and elevate his withers. I'm squeezing with both legs now at this point. If I need to use a little bit more inside leg, I will, but both legs to drive him forward. Tucking his chin a little bit and raising his withers. At this point, I'll ask him to come into this spin, but I'll continue to rock him off of this bridle a little bit as he's in this spin. I'm going to lose a lot of speed here because this is brand new to him, but what I am going to do is I'm going to be able to get a little bit more refinement. So as he starts to learn this and get a little bit better at it, then I can pick up more and more speed and get a little bit more correction, and as the time goes on, he'll be able to do it with more speed overall at the end of it. So push him into this. I'm kind of rocking my hands back and forth and then releasing. The reason I'm not holding him into this is because if I put him in this spin and held on, see how much sucked back he is? I'm just basically pulling him backwards. So I want to be able to just rock it and say, all I'm looking for is for you to tuck your chin and raise your withers. I'm not looking for you to come back to my hands at this point. So I'll just kind of rock it a little bit and release, rock it a little bit, press him with that outside rein, rock him. If he's a little bit lazy, I'll just press with my right leg, he got confused, and now he's got it right here. Continue to ask for this softness. My right leg says get going, he's a little confused. Get going. Wait until I feel him kind of push forward into this. There, he felt like he pushed forward and kind of rounded up his back, so I'll walk him out of that. I'm really wanting to feel like his back is round and he's kind of pushing forward into that rather than sucking so far back how he wanted to do it naturally. Bend him around, soften him up, outside rein, tap with my right leg. He got a little confused to start, so I tapped him with that right leg, rocking him back, waiting for some softness. If I need to use my inside leg a little as well to get him more rounded in his back, I'll do that too. Whatever it takes to get like he's pushing forward into this bridle and elevating his withers. Wait on it. Wait on it. He's sucked back too much right there. Gonna push him forward with my left leg as well. Just wait on him. I'm really there. Right there was a couple steps where he felt like his back rounded up. And it's a feel thing. You know, it's going to be maybe hard for you to see it, but it's a feel thing. I really feel his back rounding and his withers coming up just a little bit. All I'm looking for is a couple steps that are correct, and then I'll walk him out of that. So see, he's got a little too sucked back, so I tapped him with my legs to push him forward. That felt good right there, then I'm going to drive him out of it. Very nice. Let's go the other way. Rock them in there. If you can't get your horse to drive up into this bridle just walking forward in straight lines and stuff, there's no point to start this just yet. Go back and soften their chin a little bit more before you ever start this. Kind of anticipating right here, going faster. Soften this chin, there. Left rein. See how he got too sucked back right there? That's okay at this stage. That's all he knows, is to get really far back on his hind end. This is why we're teaching this in a new way. Weight on him. He kind of stepped out of it a little bit, so I put him back in there. That felt pretty nice right there. Over time, what's going to happen is he's going to get off of that outside back leg, and he's going to start using his body a little bit better. I didn't quite ask for that, so I just pull him back down. Round him up, outside rein, soften please. He's also has a tendency every now and again to bend his nose a little too much. If I can see his inside eye, that's good. I don't want to see too much of his face though. I want him to be pretty straight in this exercise. At a more refined level anyway. Tap with that left leg. At the beginning, I like to have him a little bit overbent because it helps him to find that small circle and stay in that spin. Ooh, that felt really good right there. Good job, Loki. Very good. So this part is the reward. Walk out of it, stay soft, and go back in it. Good. Let's get him a little straighter here. And that's just waiting on him. Wait, wait, wait until I feel him trying. There, I felt some good elevation in his back right there. That felt good. I don't want to overdo it and just make that spin feel bad. I want to get in and get out and reward him. I want this spin to be like a happy place for him. I want him to almost crave to go into these spins. And the only way that you can do that is if you really give them a lot of freedom to just find it on their own. So I'm not going to, be wailing on them with my leg and yanking on them or anything. I'm just going to be saying find the softness, stay in that spin, and as soon as it feels good, I'm going to let him out and reward him. So I really like where he is right there, and really I'll just keep on working on this for probably the next maybe 6 months or so until it's just, I put him in that spin, I'm holding him here, and it's just really light. He's got a lot of freedom, and I probably get to medium-high speed, somewhere around there. Once I get there, then the goal is that I'll be able to put him in that spin and then put my hands forward, and he'll keep his nose tucked in frame, high withers, and going in that spin all by himself. And what I'll have to do there is get him in, release, so he knows to keep that on his own. But it's like one step at a time. First of all, we taught him just to follow that neck rein. So if he can't do this, why even try to do something else, right? So he had to be able to maintain a spin all by himself for, I would say, at least 3 to 4 spins. If he's going in and out of this and he can't even stay in for 3 to 4 spins, well, there's no point in trying to do anything more advanced. So he's at that stage, so that's when you need to pick it up and challenge him a little bit more. So it's soften him, kind of push him into a smaller circle until he finds that spin, and then wait for him to really push forward and elevate himself. Wait on it. That felt pretty nice right there. Then drive him out of it. Drive. Very good. So I hope that helps you guys if you're trying to advance your spins a little bit. This is really, it's a pretty technical reining routine. If I just had a normal horse, I'd make a decision. I can stop it at the point where he's at now. He's just following my hands really nice. But really, I would go and push you guys to get to that next level and get more refinement. I don't care whether your horse is a reining horse, a dressage horse, a cow horse, it doesn't matter. Try to get the highest level of refinement that you can with that particular horse. If you can get them so refined that they can do each maneuver all by themselves with you just saying, please do this, and then they stay doing it, you're going to have a lot better communication between the two of you, and that to me is what horsemanship is about. Communication between you and the horse, not really so much what discipline you're in, but can you ask your horse to do something and he knows it so well, and your communication is so good between the two of you that he says, hey, I got this, let me take care of it for you. That's what I consider good horsemanship, no matter what the discipline. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks again for watching.